Okay. So our today's topic is properties of materials. We use metals like steel or aluminium to make utensils for cooking purposes. But we never use but we never use paper for making such utensils because paper utensils catch fire when placed on the burner of gas stove. Hence, we choose a material to make an object depending on its properties, the purpose for which the objects is to be used. So, today's our topic is the properties of material that would be important for their uses. So, number one property is appearance. So, materials usually look different from each other. Sand looks very different from wood. So, sand is different from wood. Then you see wood is different from iron. Now, our aluminium, plastic is different from different from wood. So, what we can say that the metals like aluminium, iron, copper, they are aluminium, aluminium, copper, aluminium, copper, iron, they have some common properties. They have common properties which are totally different from sand, wood, and plastic. So, sandwood, plastic, they do not have this characteristics, the common properties or the common characteristics which the metals like aluminium, copper, iron have. Clear? So, these materials, that means they look different from each other. They totally different from each other. Clear? So, what we can say, the property is, next property is luster, the shining property of the object. So, what is the luster? Luster is the special kind of shine present on material. Please mute your mic. Luster is a special kind of shine present on materials. Present on materials. That is the luster. So, on the basis of luster, we can divide the materials into lustrous and non-lustrous material. That means materials like iron, copper, then aluminium, aluminium, then gold, silver, they all had a shining surface. So they are lustrous material. But the materials like paper, wood, plastic, cotton, they do not have shiny surface. They do not have shining surface. So they are non-lustrous materials. So this is the property. That property is luster. That is the special kind of shine present on the materials. And on the basis of this property, we can divide the materials into two categories: lustrous materials and the non-lustrous materials. That means all the metals like gold, silver, iron, copper, aluminium, they have a shining surface. They have luster, so they are called the lustrous materials. But the materials like paper, wood, plastic, and cotton, they do not have luster. That means they do not have a shining surface. That means they are the non-lustrous materials. So most of the metals are lustrous materials, and that is why you see, for example, gold and copper and silver, due to their shining surface, due to their lustrous nature, they are used in making jewelry. They are used in making jewelry. Some metals, what happens sometimes, what happens, some metals often lose their shine, appear dull. Now, why these things happen? Why sometimes some metals, they lose their shine and lost their shine and appear dull? Because of the action of air and moisture, means water vapor present in the air, moisture on them. So because of the air and the water vapor present in the air, that is the moisture, because of their action, they lost their shine and appeared dull. Clear? But again, we can notice, we can see the shining surface only on their freshly cut surface. So if we cut them again into 2 or 3 pieces, again we can see their shining surface or lustrous surface on their freshly cut surfaces. Clear? Then third property is, am I audible, children? Yes. So whatever I have, yes, whatever I have explained, it is clear to you all. So next is okay, the fourth, the fifth property is the state, and we are discussing about the properties of solid. So solid, the shape solid has a definite solid has a definite shape and size. Number two, it has fixed volume. Then number four is, it cannot be it cannot be compressed as it is a hard material. And the number four is the solid molecules in solid are very closely packed. They are very close to each other. That is why they have a very definite shape and size. Then another state of matter, that is the liquid. In case of liquid, we see liquids do not have do not have definite shape and size. Definite shape and size. They but they have fixed volume because they take the shape of the container where they are kept. So they take the shape of the container, that means they have a fixed volume. Volume means the space occupied by an object. So they occupy the space of the container. Number three, they can be compressed to a small, they can be compressed to a small extent, not very much, to be to a small extent. And the molecules or the particles are less closely packed. That means they are not very close. They are not very close to each other. They are just, that means they are far. They are we can say uh, they are not very close to each other, and that is why a liquid can flow. A liquid can also flow. It can flow from one place to the another place, but within the boundaries, within a particular boundary. Then number C, the number C is gas. In gases do not have do not have definite shape and size. They do not have definite shape and size, no fixed volume, no fixed volume, because in case of gas, the particles or the molecules are far away from each other. They are very, very loosely packed. Due to that, they do not have a fixed volume and they are highly compressed. So, these are the different properties solid, liquid, or gas. So, on the basis of which divide, we can categorize the materials into three categories, that is, the solid, then liquid, then gases. For example, sugar, salt are the solid particles, water, alcohol, oil are the liquid materials, and sugar, salt, solid materials, and liquid materials are water, alcohol, oil, and gases are oxygen, carbon dioxide, hydrogen, nitrogen, etc. Clear? So on the basis of which, again, on the basis of state, that is the fifth property of material, on the basis of which we can again categorize the materials into three categories, that is solids, liquids, and gases. Now you see, next our property is solubility. Solubility. This is the sixth property. That means the a particular material is soluble in water or not, because water is considered as a universal solvent, because we know the solute plus solvent is equal to a solution. Because when a solute may be solid or a liquid or a gas. So if a solute can dissolve in a solvent, that means a liquid. Mostly the solvent are liquid. So if a solute can dissolve in a liquid, then it forms a solution. It forms a solution. So if a particular if a particular object is dissolved in water in a solvent and can we get a solution, then it is called the material, the solute is, the object is soluble. If it is not, that means after, if a solute is mixed with a solvent and it forms a layer at the bottom, then it is called the insoluble object. So let me show one example, an activity. So for example, we have taken here sugar and sand. Then let us take to glass half filled with water. And now let us mix sugar in water. What we will see, after few minutes, we will get a sugar solution, because the taste of the water changes into sweet, because water is a object tasteless object. So when we mix sugar in water, it gives us a sweet taste. So it proves that sugar gets completely dissolved in water. Now if we add here add sand in water, after a few minutes we can see a layer which is formed at the bottom of the glass. A layer of sand is formed at the bottom of the glass, and it shows that the sand is insoluble. So on the basis of the solubility, we can categorize the object into two categories, that is soluble and the insoluble materials. Soluble and insoluble materials. It's clear, everyone? It's clear, everyone? Okay. Now, so So on the basis of solubility, we can divide the materials into, that is the solid materials, into two categories, that is soluble and the insoluble materials. Till now I have not explained you about the liquids and the gases. So tomorrow I will explain you about the liquid and the gases, that is solubility of liquid and the gases. So on the basis, as I have told you all that on the basis of the physical state, on the basis of the physical state, the materials are divided into three categories: solid, liquid, and gas. Now, solid materials, the materials which dissolve in water, because water is considered as a universal solvent, because water has the ability to dissolve a lots of substances, ability to dissolve a lot of substances. So the materials, solid materials which which get dissolved in water are called the soluble substances. For example, sugar, for example, salt, clear, or we can say the glucose powder. These are all the soluble materials. But some of the materials which do not get dissolved in water, they are the solid materials, do not get dissolved in water. They are the insoluble materials. They are the insoluble materials. For example, sand, for example, chalk powder, for example, card, that means uh, that mud, mud particles, or the garden soil. Oil is tomorrow I will explain you about that one. That is the different categories of material, that is a liquid. Huh? So the garden soil, these are all the insoluble particles, because they form a layer at the bottom of the container when we try to dissolve them in water. So how many properties today we have learned? We have learned about the texture, that is the looks. Then we have learned about the luster, that is the shining surface, the shininess of of an object. Then number 3 is the hardness. The materials is hard or the soft. Fourth, we have learned about the texture, and then appearance, luster, hardness, texture. Then we have learned about the state and then the solubility. So appearance is the looks, the luster is the shininess, hardness, that is can be compressed or not. That on the basis of that we can categorize the materials into soft and hard material. And on the basis of the texture, if we touch a substance, then we feel the smooth surface or the, that means the plain surface or the irregularities in the surface. So on the basis of that we can divide the materials into again two categories, that is the smooth surface, smooth object, and the rough object, rough and smooth. On the basis of the physical state, the materials are categorized into solid, liquid, and gas. And on the basis of the solubility in water, solid substances are divided into two categories: soluble and insoluble. So that's all for today. Bye.